If I had to choose again, what would I want to do? What profession? I'd probably choose to be a taxi driver. How does it feel to always be the boss? At the very beginning, when I had just succeeded in starting my business, there was a period of time when I felt a sense of accomplishment, the joy that came with it, getting out of poverty and being recognized by my parents and relatives and so on. But now, honestly, actually, not possessing all of those material things is much less of a heavy burden for me. Why is that? More because I don't have particularly high demands for material possessions. My hobbies are just things like keeping fish and tending to plants and flowers. I don't really go out to eat, drink, or have fun. And you all know I rarely socialize, right? I always keep one saying in mind, if you have food and clothing, you should be content. What's the second thing? It's not like I have a lot of strong vanity. Of course, it exists. Everyone has it to some extent. But honestly, when it comes to things like honor or status, I personally don't have such high demands. I just feel that as long as I live my own life well, that's enough. So I actually seldom find myself attending these kinds of formal dinner parties or social drinking gatherings out in the public social sphere. As a boss who has successfully built and established a certain significant amount of wealth, or rather, having a lot of money doesn't actually provide me with much happiness. Actually, on the contrary, I think we need to look at this from two different angles. On one hand, it's undeniable that the current economic environment is making people feel pretty anxious, which is totally understandable, right? But on the other hand, I personally have absolute confidence in my ability to step up and get things done well. Now, you might wonder, what exactly is the second one? Actually, the biggest one is the depth of your sensory experience. In fact, being a boss isn't just about simply encountering a vast number of different things. So what are those things? They're tests of human nature, you know what I mean? After being battered and worn down by society, your deeper understanding of human nature, well, you often find themselves feeling deeply disappointed and quite disheartened because, as boss says, we definitely have to deal with a lot of people, and that leads to a lot of situations like what? There is a deep sense of betrayal, an overwhelming amount of greed, and a profound lack of moral integrity. So, throughout this entire process, it really makes us feel incredibly uncomfortable and uneasy, including ourselves. Because we must admit that we ourselves are often exactly like this too in our daily lives. We can't always be perfect either. Sometimes what we know and what we do don't match up. That's also a source of pain, right? So I feel that being a boss, to be completely honest, I really don't feel that it has brought me any significant benefit or happiness. On the contrary, it's been more of a constant source of overwhelming pressure. Sometimes I even think, if I had the chance to choose again, what would I do? What profession would I pick? Perhaps I would have become a taxi driver instead. Why is that? Because personally, I really enjoy listening to and reading martial arts or fantasy cultivation novels. So while I'm looking at cars, I also listen to those cultivation or martial arts novels, and I feel like my spiritual world becomes very enriched. That's how it is. So I think being a boss really requires a lot of personal strength. You really need something to rely on yourself. Only then can you, every single day when you wake up, still have all that confidence and all of that positive energy to face the world